Hello and welcome to this video. My name is Sebastian Stroller and today we want to talk about expectations, how our expectations influence our life and what or how our expectation influence life situations, our life situations. We are maybe in situations like addiction, fear and anxiety, panic attacks, burnout, relationships, and so on. I want to start with expectations if we talk about disease. If someone have a disease, he expect he get healed and the problem is solved. If it's come to addiction and that person get told addiction is a disease, that person expect to get healed from the addiction and the problems are solved. And that is not the case. And numbers about addiction withdrawn confirm that. Over 95, over 90%, over 90% return to addiction after withdrawal from it. That basically mean strategies and systems which are handed out to them failing in 90%, over 90%, failing over 90%. Placebo is more effective. You have placebo or not. That's 50-50. 50-50 is much better than predictable 90% of failure. Within those strategies and concepts, therapists talking about those people fighting against demons or against karma and so on. But no one fighting against demons. They fighting against unconscious mind, subconscious mind, and nervous system. What unconscious and subconscious deliver to you, I would call this your sub and unconscious truth. And your sub and unconscious truth met your conscious expectations. And here starts the inner conflict. What are your expectations? You create expectations from childhood, young adult, adult, education, religious beliefs, culture, positive and negative experiences, longings, assumptions, and your conclusions about all of this. Or your conscious beliefs and conclusions may not fit at all to your sub and unconscious truth. We need to understand that our conscious beliefs, our education, our social environments, our relationships, and so on, running under labels, right? Let's assume I give you the word shark. What happened within you if you hear the word shark? You mostly scared or kind of anxious. how close is a potential shark to you? Those concepts works with everything in our life. If I give you the word romance, romantic, you immediately have imaginations. And if romance and romantic happen to you, you have expectations how this should look like and how it should get fulfilled. But this running under labels. What mean romance or romantic for you? What does it mean? That you going to dinner, nice candlelight, wine in a nice restaurant, or something similar. Sitting together on the beach, watching sun rising, right? Something like that. But what does it mean for your life? What does it mean for your relationship? You have expectations. Everyone have. This look from the outside, more or less, for everyone the same. And then you fulfill feelings you want to feel about that on your own. This matches with your imagination, and then you think this is true, and then you think external events like a romantic event change, influence, or fulfill your inner state. And let's stick to the context of romance and romantic. Then there's mostly soulmate, destiny, love on the first view, and so on. And all that labels also have images of imaginations and expectations. What mean soulmate for you? What does it mean? That a potential partner read your mind, fulfill everything within you, make you happy, and figure this out all on their own. This sounds to me a bit like Rapunzel. We not only have expectations, beside this, we have pictures how this should look like and how we should get it. And if it's not match, then we will upset and disappointed because another person did not match our checklist. And we make that person responsible for our disappointment. And that behavior influences basically every situation in our life. It goes from relationships, any kind of relationships, relationship with parents. Parents have expectations in their children. Children have expectations in parents. Romantic relationships, work relationships, work environments, burnout, panic attacks, anxiety, and so on. Everything get influenced by our expectations. And these expectations basically have nothing to do with reality. Because, as I say, we running under labels. Those labels creating the pictures of imaginations. We fulfill that by ourselves and then think, yep, it's true. How's it going with the soulmate? What about the last soulmate? What about the last destiny? Under those labels, we failing, or we could say, we failing 90% of the time. It not look like that because of fear, and mostly the fear of loss. Right? We are scared to lose a job. And we are also scared to lose a job we don't like, we don't want to do. But the job gives us something, we give meaning, and then we do it anyway. And then we don't want to lose it. The same applies to partner, children, social environments, and so on. We only need to look deep enough. And if we look deep enough, we will find that we are fear-driven. And if we have our sub and unconscious truth and all our conscious beliefs and conclusions are driven by fear, and one day that hits, this is what called you have to fight your demons and so on. Your message of fear hits your sub and unconscious truth. What drives you? And if this hits, you think, and it feels like that, you're losing control. Losing control could lead into panic attacks. Panic attacks lead into more fear. This environment can lead into depression and so on. Then you may found or seeking solutions, maybe alcohol, maybe other drugs, and this get more and more complicated and more complex. And if someone then is telling you this is a disease and nothing change, if the disease is gone, is this creates even more disappointment than you had before, right? Then, for example, if you really want to get things done and you may fight your addiction with willpower and nothing change, those people may fall in an even deeper hole and may get even more depressed. What we need is clarity and becoming aware of what we're doing. And if you need help to become aware of what drives you and your beliefs, I work online or directly in Chiang Mai in Thailand. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.